So Joe Biden has slowly but surely become one of the worst campaigners I've ever seen. It's a little surprising because I remember back when he debated Sarah Palin in 2008 and when he debated Paul Ryan in 2012, he was really good in one-on-one debates with Republicans. He's not a terrible campaigner, but now as he's gotten older and as the political climate around him has shifted in a more populist left direction, he's kind of just been unmasked as a standard centrist corporate milquetoast Democratic candidate. And what's fascinating here is I just want you to, as you watch this, think about what would happen in a general election of Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Because what you're going to see here from Biden is just, it's just sad. There's just no life there. He's not saying anything. It's just platitudes and Trump bad and racism bad. It's just like so banal and stale and there's no life in it. So let's take a look and then we'll come back and discuss.
We must defeat Donald Trump, period. And stop his abuse of power. We have a president who traffics in the ugliest forces in our nation's history. In both clear language and code, President Trump has fanned the flames of white supremacy in this nation. When Charlottesville occurred, and there were decent people standing there saying, we will not go along with this hate, and he was asked when a young woman was killed, he was asked to characterize what happened. He said, quote, there were fine people on both sides. No president, and more than a boo, it's serious, no president has ever said anything like that, save the possibility of before the Civil War. Ladies and gentlemen, in doing so, he has signed a moral equivalence between those neo-Nazis, the Ku Klux Klan, white supremacists, preaching hate and white supremacy, and those who are opposing it. At that time, I said we're in a battle for the soul of America, and we are in the battle for a soul of America. That's what's at stake. This country can overcome 4 years of Donald Trump with great difficulty, but 8 years of Trump, I believe, will forever change the character and nature of the country we are. America is unique in all of history. It's an idea. American creed. All men and women are created equal. We've never fully lived up to that, but we've never, ever, ever walked away from it. Its genius is that every generation of Americans, every generation, has opened wider and wider access for more and more people. That's why it's never gathered dust in our history books. We need a president who, once again, values honesty, decency, treating everyone with dignity and respect, leaving no one behind, giving everyone a fair shot, and understanding that there's something bigger than our individual selves.
It's Hillary all over again. I'm sorry. That's what it's become. There was a time, if you had asked me before he hopped in the race, oh, how do you think Biden would fare against Trump? I'd tell you, and I said it. I definitely think he'd do better than Hillary did because I was going off of the information that we had at the time, which was the 2008 walloping of Sarah Palin and the 2012 destruction of Paul Ryan. So even putting ideology aside, he's good enough to handle somebody like Trump because he's got the I'm middle-class Joe type thing going on. But no, when you give him the stage on his own, and you do it now in this political climate, and it's clear that time has not been kind to Joe Biden in many respects, what you get is the same, milquetoast, warmed-over platitudes that you saw with Hillary Clinton, which could not generate excitement. Because, and here's the main point, guys, what does he believe in? What does he believe in? What's he really fighting for? You go ask Andrew Yang what he believes in. You go ask Bernie Sanders. You go ask Tulsi Gabbard. You get answers like that. And everybody knows. Go to even people who don't support those candidates. Hey, what's Tulsi's thing? She wants to end the regime change wars. Hey, what's Yang's thing? Oh, universal basic income. He cares deeply about that. What's Bernie's thing? How much time you got? Medicare for all, free college, fighting back against income inequality, so on and so forth. You ask about Elizabeth Warren. Oh, she wants to crack down on Wall Street. You know, that's her thing. She wants to go after Wall Street. She's big on economic reform, domestic economic reform. These people are bringing something to the table, agree or disagree with them. What is Biden bringing to the table other than, I want to be president? There's the same criticism I had of Hillary, is that you don't really believe in anything. You believe in Hillary Clinton becoming president. And so you're just trying to say the right things to maneuver yourself into that position. But it's all smoke and mirrors. I mean, really, you think that speech is going to generate excitement? I mean, we're talking about America's an idea. All people are created equal. We haven't always lived up to that, but we've never stopped trying to move towards that. You know, I believe in honesty and decency, and I'm for good things, and I'm against bad things, and we should break down the barriers, and we're stronger together, and here's another fucking platitude sandwich to eat. Even the stuff like, and he did this with his launch ad. Remember his launch ad? What was it? At Charlottesville, there were really bad people, and they're racist, and I'm against racism. That's the bar you've set for yourself, racism bad? Congratulations, Joe. That's so obvious. It's so insanely obvious. But what are you going to do about it? I'll tell you what he did in the past. He worked with Strom Thurmond and segregationists and then praised them and said, you know, how reasonable they are. And guess what? He worked with them on the issue of segregation. He wasn't in favor of desegregated busing. So he just does what's politically convenient at the time. Ooh, remember back in the 1990s, and it was tough on crime was the thing at the time, and he attacked Republicans from the right and said they're not tough enough. So this is Joe Biden, ultimate political insider. Now, he would be up against Donald Trump. Say what you want about Donald Trump, and I got a lot to say about him. You know what he's got? A rabid, passionate, dedicated base. Look at a Trump rally compared to a Biden rally. You tell me who's got the enthusiasm, and then you tell me whether or not Biden should be the nominee in 2020.